Zulma. This mic is all yours.
Hi, family. Thankful Thursday to each and every only one of us. Only one of us. One source, one power, one life, one truth, one faith, one baptism. That's how it's in the Bible. Part of that's in the Bible. Part of that's in the Course. Part of that is in every book that I've read to remind me of what I am and what we all are. Ah, I am exhaling. I'm kind of like partway between that inhale and that exhale. Um, I am coming to you from a new hard drive because my computer took the plunge. My hard drive took the fatal plunge and uh, and died. It and died. That's the long story of it. That's the short version of it. Um, it's been interesting and wonderful that money has been coming in to me. Yeah, unexpected money, unexpected check for six something, check for 1,000 something, um, and other things here and there. However, because life is a um, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Um, it comes and it goes, giving and receiving are one and all that. You know, $800 for new tires and $335 for a new hard drive and whatever went with it. And the time that this gentleman took to spend with me so that I can recover my Microsoft Office because I need Word and I need PowerPoint. Need is a useful word in this case. Um, for what I for the gift that I've been given, I require Microsoft Word. I require PowerPoint. I require Excel. I require email. He helped me get into my email. He helped me figure out where to find Zoom. I had to go through my phone, fortunately, because I come in on my phone a lot. The the addresses to a lot of the places that I participate on Zoom were there. And this morning I was going into my phone, switching it to my computer, getting the address, creating myself a file of Zoom links, and just the stuff that living here on this in this wonderful place that I call Earth, that we call Earth, that the Course calls Earth, um, just the stuff that goes along with living here in this life, this temporary existence, I'll call it that, a temporary space. Uh, yeah, so that's that. It's been quite a role. I am speaking on Sunday at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, which isn't in Philadelphia at all. It's in Wayne, Pennsylvania, actually out of Paoli. And the the theme for the month there is letting love grow. And I have sub-themed it and so much love, SOW, much love. And that's what's going to be happening on Sunday. And of course, there'll be a passage in there from the course and from other sources, but I'm still putting it together because when I ran out of computer on Monday, Sunday actually, Saturday into Sunday, when I ran out of computer, um, fortunately, I had taken the time to copy, save the file that I had, and I copied it into WhatsApp. I don't know if you know about WhatsApp. All right, so today's that kind of a day. Um, WhatsApp is a messaging app like regular text messaging, but you can bring files in there. You can it's a you can do more in WhatsApp, and it's end-to-end encrypted and all that. And fortunately, I had taken the file, and I had put it in WhatsApp. And since I had WhatsApp on my computer, my tablet, and my phone, I've been on my phone working on this phone as if it were a computer, um, preparing for Sunday. And then I volunteered for to do the writings and provide the readings for the month of March at the Center of Peace, the Center for Spiritual Living, where I attend. And I just said yes a couple days ago, not realizing that I repeat, five different writings, um, readings, and affirmations have to be in the hands of the person who uploads them by the 18th. I almost called Lynn this morning and said, but you know what? I missed being here last week. So here I am today. Um, and I haven't eaten anything yet today, nor can I, because I have to go have blood work drawn. I have to have blood work done, and I forgot. My doctor's appointment is on Monday, so I have to do that today in order for them to have the results of that on Monday. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I needed to do all of that. I need to do all of that um, because I am in a state of frustration. I'm in a state of frustration, and that's where I am, and that's all there is to it. That's what's going on. Um, so I was well. Let's do our usual intro. Let's see here. Um, Share this. It feels almost new to me being on here. Let's do what we normally do. Let's not overlook slideshow from current slide. Okay. Let's not overlook the usual stuff. We are here talking about A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. And today I'm going to even include the Bible in that. And those are the names of some of the people. Let me say good morning, first of all, to everyone who's here, Dove and Bob and Lynn and Lori and Regis and Sharon. I thought I saw Sharon. I'll have to come out of the screen to find out. Let me stop the share for a moment. Stop share to make sure I got everyone. And Mickey, hi, loved ones. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Uh, so, but yeah, so anyway, those are the names of some of the people that are a part of the great metaphysical movement, including I almost want to put Helen Schuckman's name there, but since she's not recognized as the author she is the writer, the scribe of the course. Almost want to put her name there, but I will not. But in my mind, she belongs there. Um, as always, we should train daily train. And this is what I'm doing as I speak. Daily training my thought to recognize the spirit in everything I do, say, or think. Recognize the spirit in everything we do, say, or think. The Course teaches that God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And that's important to me today. And I'm hoping for a discussion because I want to talk about what I see, what we see. Anyway, Dr. Ernest Holmes teaches also that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And good morning to Katia, if you're out there listening, and Barbara, if you're out there listening. My friend Barbara was here last week and I wasn't. She called me. I got a couple of phone calls and oh, wow, wonderful, rich conversations. Um, Christian D. Larson says that we naturally become master over all life when we can understand and master the process of thinking. It's important to remember that thinking is how we get to whatever place we are, because the Course teaches that what we do comes from what we think, and what's not in the middle there, which comes it's somewhere else later in the Course, that what we do actually comes from what we feel, and what we feel comes from what we think. Um, Keep the Word of God alive in your mind, in your thought, and your experience. Joe Goldsmith said that. Now it's interesting as I'm reading this, I'm seeing it says your mind and your thought. That's two different places. Your mind and your thought, neither of which we can actually see. I mean, if I cut open the body, I can't see my thought and I can't see my mind, but we know it's there. We see the effects of these. Keep the word of God alive, alive, not the stuff that, not the stories we make up, not the books that we read, not the movies that we watch, not it's the word within. It's the word within. Our Father, which art in heaven, the kingdom of heaven is within. Our Father, which art within. Keep that word alive in your mind, in your thought, and in your experience. The course teaches us that this is a course in mind training. These are all courses in mind training. Life is a course in mind training. It's a course in mind training because it's about recognizing that nothing that we see, hear, smell, taste, or touch is responsible for what we feel, for what we think, for what we do, that we ourselves, that it is our own thoughts, that it is our own mind, it is our own thinking that is responsible. So this is a course in mind training, and all learning involves attention and study at some level. So it's necessary to learn. It's necessary to um to examine. It's necessary to 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 look to be aware. It's necessary. It is necessary. We cannot, I cannot function in this world, on this earth. I'm bringing that up again. I cannot function here without doing these things because I have this body. This body is my communication device for functioning on this plane. Rather, an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. An untrained mind, there are those who use this book, A Course in Miracles. There are those who use The Science of Mind text. There are those who use The Infinite Way, Joel Goldsmith. There are those who use Emily Cady or Mary Baker Eddy or Emma Curtis Hopkins or or Ralph Waldo Emerson or whomever. The Bible, the writers of the various writers of the Bible, there are some who use some specifically and have decided that that particular work is it. It's it. This is it. And I say, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to controversial waters today. What the heck? I'm doing Zulma today. Um, the same way once said that there's no way that all that God is, that all that God is can be explained between Genesis 1:1 and Revelation 22, the Bible. There is no way that the allness of God can be explained in A Course in Miracles. There is no way that all that God is can be explained in all of Joel Goldsmith's writing or Emma Curtis Hopkins's writing or who's ever writing. There is no way because God is everything, everywhere, everyone, always. Everything, everyone, everywhere, and always. That includes whatever book we're talking about. Um, and 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 again, there are those who are purists, and that's fine. I have nothing against purists as long as um, they, whoever they are, don't feel a need to tell me that um, that I am wrong or I am um, unfaithful to a particular teaching because I'm not um, reading simply one book. I'm not listening to simply one person. I choose no idols. I'm gonna drop screen for a moment on this one. Uh, I'm gonna drop screen. I choose no idols, none, no person, no place, no thing. There is not a single person ever, ever who has provided absolutely everything that I require. I have been given everything. It's written in the course that I have everything, that I am everything. So if I had to have an idol, I suppose it would have to be the one who breathe where my breath is where I'm breathing, where I'm eating, where I'm sleeping, where I'm that one. It would have to be me because this is the life that I am responsible for, this one right here. Um, and all of that was going, I have no idea where. I'm being I'm choosing my words carefully, but I am speaking the words that I am thinking and feeling. I was just looking at in the manual for teachers, number 23, I believe it is, and it uses the words Jesus Christ. And I was taken aback because I know that Christ was not Jesus' last name. And if anything, it would be Jesus the Christ, and this is just Zulma speaking for Zulma. Um, I was actually surprised to see Jesus Christ together. We've seen Jesus. We've seen, we talk about or read about or hear about Jesus as being the great example, not the great exception. At least that's to my belief. The great example in the course refers to um, Jesus as my brother. The voice of the course is saying that Jesus is my brother. Um, okay, Bob. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know. Um, and even in the Bible, it's written when Jesus is asked, someone said to him, good teacher, what must I do? Blah 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 blah. And the response was, why are you calling me good? There's only one good, and that's the Father. Um, there are those who say that the Jesus of the Bible is not the same Jesus of the Course, and um, which kind of makes me shrug my shoulders because the Course mentions the words the Bible 18 times. So um, that being the case, and then there are places where it's written when I said, referencing the voice of the course as Jesus, what was said is coming from the Bible. So, eh, and I'm open for conversation here. Would be great if others would chime in on this if they want. Um, oh, Bob, I'd love to hear more about that. Bob wrote denial at work. Um, I'd love to hear what that. I'd love for you to expound on that, Bob. Thank you. And Lori wrote that she's needed many teachings, not just the course. Um, and Lynn writes, it's very clear to her that it's Jesus. Now, and that's fine, Lynn. That it's clear to Lynn that it's Jesus. Bob says that what I'm saying now is denial at work. I don't know what that means, Bob. What do you mean? That what I'm saying is denial at work? What do you mean?
In other words, what you're talking about right now is seeing denial at work. They don't want to accept that it's the same person or the same entity that spoke in the Bible as well as in the Course. That's
Okay,
their denial.
okay. I thank you for that. Thank you for that. Um, so when I first came to A Course in Miracles, I thought, wait a minute, what's going on here? I put this book down, I picked this book up, um and it took me a while to actually get into the course. I'm that person who all has always said the voice of the course. Call it what you will. I'm the one that has always said and will always say the voice of the course. The same way I'm also the one who says it is written in the Bible that it is written that Jesus said. It is written that Jesus said. I wasn't physically there. I it's written. There are those who say, and even in the course, it says, well, I couldn't have said that, but I said that. There is so much. This could become a controversial conversation. A conversation, the con, a yeah, that could happen. It could become controversial. Um, Dove says that I guess that's all of us, you were always a teacher, just didn't know it until you started. Yes, we all are. We all are, all teachers and all students, and everything that's being taught, whether I agree with it or not, is still for my learning. All things, according to the Course in Miracles, all things, hi Christine, all things are lessons that God would have me learn. All things are, and God is life, so all things are lessons that life would have me learn. And at some point, I have to decide I have learned the lesson and now I'm going to demonstrate it. Now I'm going to live it. I like the passage in the Bible that says God is love. And then, of course, and others say the same thing. But I like that one. God is love. Now, that's in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, there's so many different things. You know, God is described as so many different in so many different ways, and what have you. And the fact is, it's all God. It's all God. Because if there's no such thing as God, and then it's all God, all of it. Every bit of it, the bullet, the cancer, um the flowers, the trees, the money, it's all God. The money is just a bartering system that we need, that I needed $355 in order to be able to write. I mean, to be here right now, to be here on Zoom on my computer. I needed $355 to do it, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that it was there. Okay. Um, and Bob says, "Who am I teaching? Me, sure." And I'm absolutely. I'm always teaching myself. I'm teaching myself. However, the course reminds me to resign as my own teacher, because a lot of what I've taught myself has not brought me peace. The goal is always peace. Where am I going with this? So I was surprised to see, okay, so, and Lynn writes that Jesus is an entity in my mind, a person I know as an elder brother, even though we are the same thing. Yes. And in the course it's written, don't be in awe of me, basically. That voice. Don't be in awe. I'm a brother. That's that in the Bible. Why are you calling me good? Only one, the Father. The allness of it all. Jesus was a point of reference as we all are. This is Zulma talking. A point of reference as we all are. Granted, it's written that he had a lot to say. I'm still on that thing with the fig tree, cussed and killed the fig tree. Uh, there are those who might say, oh no, well that couldn't be true. We have these writings. We accept that we choose that we choose to accept that this is so, but this isn't. I said this, I didn't say that. It's just Zulma talking. This whole spin, um, workbook lesson 219 last week had a sentence in it that drew attention, and it read, okay, workbook lesson 219 was, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And it was an offshoot of workbook lesson 199, which is, I am not a body, I am free. And it goes on to say, I am God's son, which is my interpretation that I am a product of life. I am what life is. Be still, my mind, and think a moment upon this. And then return to earth without confusion as to what my Father loves forever as his son. Return to earth. That got my attention. So I took that word earth and I looked in the course, and it's in there 118 times, which is quite a bit. And it talks about, that, this what we call the earth. We say it's not real, and real, I remind you, means not temporary. What's real is what's eternal. I had 355 real dollars and until it was not mine to have anymore. It was real to me in that moment. Now it's real to the gentleman of the company that repaired my computer. Oh, it's real enough. I certainly wouldn't be here with this computer right now had it not been for that, in that moment, real $355. In the Bible is written, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. All of it. All of it. All of it. Whether or not it's temporary or eternal, that's not the question. That's not even the point. The point is, I cannot deny that I am living, that this representation called Zulma is living on the planet Earth. Nor can I deny it of any of the names here and anybody I know and anything out there and whatever, my television set and my computer and my water bottle and my doggy. I can't deny any of it. The Course says that to deny that is an unhealthy or unworthy. It's an unworthy form of denial. But yet, too often, way too often, I hear, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. But I've always used the example, if I hauled off and slapped you, sorry, baby boy, made my doggy nervous. If I hauled off and slapped you, I'll be doggone if you're going to tell me that that wasn't, if anything, you're going to get on the phone with somebody, you know, that damn Zulma did. You know, I can't believe that she slapped me. Man, face still hurts just thinking of, you know what? I'm just going to ban her from, just, she's out of here. Convince me that in the moment that it occurred, and that's all I'm talking about is in that moment, that it wasn't real. This body is given me, this body was given me as a means to communicate. All that stuff I just read about, you know, training the mind and all that, I need this body to do it. So for me to say that it's not real, that again, workbook lesson 219, it says return to earth. It, to get my head out of the clouds, that woo woo, you know, thinking that, you know, this is all, it's all so woo woo. Oh, it's all a dream. Okay, okay. I'll go with the terminology. Because it's all, you know, row your boat. You know, life is but a dream. That's how I first heard it in the song. Life is but a dream. There's this moment, and then that's gone. There's the next moment, and then that's gone. The only thing that makes it not real is when I try to hold on to a thought, something that's already that 300. Let's use that $355 for example. If I were to try to convince, if I were to go into my account and say, "Oh my God, there's $355 missing." No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I had it. It was really there in my account. Can't deny that either. And the gentleman that I paid it to, he won't deny that I paid him $355. The receipt shows I paid him $355. I might have say, "Oh, well, that wasn't real." No, that wasn't real. You know, um, if it wasn't, and I'm going to take a line from the course to use as an example. I'm going to take a line from the course that for me is not used in context when I hear others talk about it. In the course, it says, if it wasn't real then, it's not real now. That $355 was real then in my account, and it's not in my account now. But that does not mean that the $355 wasn't, and at least now, not maybe not for me now, it's in somebody else's experience, wasn't real. It's unnecessary. Hi, Karen G. Good to see you, loved one. I was thinking about you just the other day. Yeah, good to see you. Really good to see you. You just crossed my mind all of a sudden, the month of January and you and all that. And we made contact, and I thought about you, and I thought about your doggy. I thought about my doggy. And all of that was just one great big thought with me. And I love you. It was great. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I was talking about what's real and what's not, well, at least as I see it. In the moment, okay, Karen G just came on screen. I saw her, she saw me. I'm not going to deny that was a real moment. That was a real moment. It's a real moment. It's a real moment. I'm going to smile later on. I'm just going to cross my mind again, and I'm going to have a smile about it. And for me, that's real. It may not be real to any one of you. Well, no, it has to be in the moment, has to be real to each and every one who's hearing my voice or who sees Karen G on screen, because we're all part of the same experience. Now, if next Thursday Karen doesn't come on and I say, "Oh, well, that must not have been real because she's not here now," That's me deluding myself. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. In this moment, this is real. This is true for me right now. And it comes and it goes. All things come to pass. They don't come to stay, but they come. So for me to deny, I'm going back to workbook lesson 219, talking about the earth. For me to deny it is an unworthy, as the Course says, an unworthy form of denial. And now it's talking about the body, but that includes anything that goes along with it. And everything that goes along with it, the food I eat, the money I spend, the bed I sleep in, the dog I walk, the people I talk to, hug, love, laugh with, all this. It's real. The earth. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Now, everything I see is everything I'm looking at. Every single thing I see, God is in it. God is in it. God is in this water. God is the water bottle. Because to say that it's not is to say that there's God and the water bottle. The water bottle is part of the existence. It's part of my life. The water bottle wouldn't even be, had it not been for a thought that somebody had somewhere along the way, a thought, an idea that grabbed hold of a feeling that then became a behavior. What we do comes from what we think. To create some kind of a container that has a filter, because we talk about filtering, putting filters on our water taps and all that, some kind of a this is as real to me as as a glass of water or a container of water is to you. To deny it, if all of a sudden I just started peeling off everything I have on, everything I have on, there'd be a conversation about that. You'd be thinking, okay, something, Zulma, I don't know. She's, but I can go with, well, it's not real. It's just the body. For me, I cannot limit myself. Oh yeah, some ego. Listen, in the Bible, it was the first story of, you know, um, where it's written, whoever wrote it, written that Adam said we hid because we were naked, basically. We did, and as Regis always posed the question, you that you were naked. How'd you figure that out? What? From the very beginning, I've been taught, based on the way it's written in the Bible, that I shouldn't walk around naked. Anything that we're told shouldn't be had to already be before somebody said it shouldn't be. That goes for people's lifestyles. Um, that goes for uh, there are some companies who say that you know you shouldn't wear big earrings. I'm using that as an example, but big earrings had to exist for somebody to be able to say that they shouldn't wear big earrings. You know what I mean? That it had to be already. It sounds to me like Earth, Mother Earth, is looked at as I don't know, a passing fancy. Everywhere I go is holy ground. Every step I take is holy ground. This body is being used to walk this earth. This body is being used to communicate verbally and in other ways with people. This body is being used to share loves. I just said I'm giving a talk on Sunday. So much love. This body is being used for that. Am I supposed to say that it's not real? That's an unworthy form of denial. For me to say that Wayne, Pennsylvania is not real, that's an unworthy form of denial. Is it for me to say that the ground on which I stand is not real? That's an unworthy form of denial. So going back to that workbook lesson, it says return to earth without confusion. And in other places where it talks about earth, I'm just talking about the Course in Miracles. There's in chapter 1, it says, as long as a single quote slave remains to walk the earth, your release is not complete. So we're talking about no slaves on the earth. We're not saying as long as the earth remains, your release is not complete. It says as long as a single quote slave remains to walk the earth, your release is not complete, which means we continue to walk the earth. We're not saying that the earth isn't real. At least to my understanding, it's not saying that the earth isn't real. In chapter 2, it talks about the meek. The meek shall inherit the earth. Now, that's a quote. It comes from the Bible first. The meek shall inherit the earth. The earth, because their egos are humble, and this gives them inner perception. The Holy Spirit in chapter 5 is the way in which God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. It's not, and later in chapter 5, it says both heaven and earth are in you because the call of both is in your mind. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to choose the Holy Spirit as a decision, but I'm making that choice here on earth. It's still here on earth. In chapter 5 also, the voice of the Course says it was only his decision that gave him all power in heaven and earth. And earth. That I'm telling you, when I saw that last week, I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go. To deny, to say that the earth isn't real, to say that what I see, hear, smell, taste, and touch isn't real, to say that is to say that what? I don't love you, Regis, that I don't love you, Bob, that I don't love you, Doug, that I don't love you, Karen, that I don't love you, Lynn, that I don't love you, Lori, that I don't love you, Mickey, that I don't love you, Christine, that I don't love you, Sharon. That would be to deny all of that. That would be to deny all of that. Because that awareness, my awareness of this love, of this extension, I'm doing through this body. And I'm doing it here on earth. The fact that I can call that, that we have these names, okay, call it a dream, call it made up, call it whatever. The story, all right, that I have brought you into my life. Thank you. How I did it, I clicked on Pal Talk one day and boom, there you were. That I've brought you, I brought you into my world, and I choose to keep you in my world. And when I don't, then I log off of Pal Talk and delete numbers and from my phone and whatever have you. But all that is happening here on earth with and through this body. I can't say, well, as the Course says, to deny it is an unhealthy form, unhealthy, unworthy form of denial. And it's saying it's not worth it's not even worth going through that. It's not real, it's not real, it's not real. because that's ego based. Because according to the Course, what it's saying is that I'm giving attention to what is that I'm giving permanent attention to what's temporary. That's $355, which you can't see because it's not here. It's in that company's account now. It was real. It was just as real to me then as it is to him, the company, now. And it's still all God. It's still all God. These things that come to pass, that's all God. All of it. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Everything, everything, everything is God. Comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and temporary. The thoughts I think with God. Now, I think a thought this, I think this thought now, I think that thought later. I'm thinking different thoughts, but according to A Course in Miracles, the thoughts I think with God. God's mind is my mind. And where's this my coming from? Where's the awareness of this my coming from? It's coming through this body, through this mind, through these thoughts. And I'm not denying any of it, because to do so, according to A Course in Miracles, is an unworthy form of denial. So, when people who have investments, financial investments, and the stocks go down, and you're like, oh, my money. Now, you can do denial and say, well, it's not real. It's okay. That's bull. That will send you into depression. That will send you into depression. I'm not going to, if I found out that, somebody went into my account and, wiped out everything, I'm not, don't think for 1 minute I'm going to say, oh, that's okay. It was, it's just, it's temporary and I don't need it. And not doing that. That's an unworthy form of denial. What I have, the material things that I have because I've thought about and felt about and then did something about whatever to have what I have. Hello, mindful. I don't know who that is, but I love the name. Because it was these were based on decisions that I made, continuous decisions. I decided to go to work at the post office, and wasn't my favorite job, but fortunately, because of the time that I spent there, the whole 40 years, 2 months, and 24 days, tell me that wasn't real. The whole 40 years, 2 months, and 24 days. I'm fortunate enough to have a pension now that if I don't want to work, I don't have to, as long as I choose to live within, my means. But it's just all life. It's just all life. God is life. When the workbook lesson, it says all things are lessons that God would have me learn. Hi, Linda. Linda Joy. I love that name, Linda Joy. All things are lessons that God would have me learn. But what things? What things are we talking about? We're talking about these things, these moments, these times, these ideas, these television programs, these ACIM groups, these other groups, these all this. It's all life. It's all life. It's all life. And they're all lessons that I would learn so I can recognize my responsibility to this life, to the rest of life, to my peace, to my joy. I can't blame you if something doesn't go right. It's a lesson for me. You know, you did something, I don't like it, and I'm feeling some kind of way about it. It's my lesson to learn to be willing to accept it so that I can have my peace. But you know what Angela Davis said? She said, I'm no longer accepting the things I can't change. She says, I'm changing the things I can't accept. And I understand that too. I understand that too. There are things, you know, we can write our congressman, and I hope, I hope that's the case for those who feel that, that things are happening unjustly. And I put that in quotation marks. I'm talking about as far as the country and as far as the world. I'm talking about me, Zulma, being slightly uncomfortable. I'm ready, getting ready to get my hair done. But in the meantime, slightly uncomfortable about wrapping my hair. I wear the head wraps because some people are being snatched off the streets based on their appearance. And that's not something I'm dwelling on. I'm just choosing to wear hats or something instead. But in my world, in my part of this, this part that's been assigned to me, my lot in life, that can be a reality. I can, not show up next week and call in and like, oh, or somebody have to call in for me and say, you know what? Zulma got snatched off the street. I'm trusting that somebody here, I don't know, will at least contact their congressman to do whatever needs to be done so something like that doesn't occur. We can say, oh, it's temporary. Yeah, it is. You can say it's not real. You can say, well, it's not happening in my world, so it must not be real. That's an unworthy form of denial. The earth is the Lord's, is God's, and the fullness thereof. When to say that we have everything because we are everything, I understand that that's meant as far as spirit. I understand that. But right now, I was just saying that I have to go have this blood work done, so I can't eat anything. There's food in my refrigerator. The food in it, how it got there, those things, those tangible things are required for my physical existence, for the temporary time that I'm here on this earth. It's required. Anyway, I'm hungry. I was said all that to say, I'm hungry right now. And I can't deny that. And there's Karen on her way in. I cannot deny that I'm hungry. Hi, my Karen. I can't deny that I'm hungry. So I noticed that not once did I use the word ego. I did see that Dove had typed earlier that some ego will be always ugly. The ego decision, because it's a decision. The ego is a decision. The Holy Spirit is a decision. And both are in my mind. The same mind. It's God's mind. My mind and God's mind are the same mind. I'm strictly talking A Course in Miracles. That's strictly, not only of the Course, but I'm using the Course today to make my point. Earth, my body, my money, my food, my home, my computer, my doggy, you all that I call by name, these bodies that I see, are all very, very real for as long as they are in my world. They come and they go. I get that. But while you're here, you're real to me. I just said hello to my Karen. She's real to me. She just did the the emoji, the applaud emoji. We all saw it. That was real to me. She just put up the laugh emoji. That's real to me. And I want to laugh in the moment. It is real. And to deny it, any of it, is an unworthy form of denial. And I'm almost certain that I'm going to be here listening, and somebody's going to talk about how it's not real. And it's not real. And it's not real. That, to me, is painful. It's painful. It's painful that I'm saying now that I'm hungry, and you're going to tell me that that's not real. And what do you mean it's not real? My stomach, yeah. This body has the stomach, and it has the all that. If you cut me open, you're going to see stuff. Temporarily, perhaps, but for now, it's real. And all of that, I brought all that up, and I'm 4 minutes from out of here. Because of workbook lesson 219. It says return to earth. In I believe it's number 24 in the 28, 24, 18, one of them, in the manual for teachers. It's under the section, Can God Be Reached Directly, I believe. But anyway, it says that don't be dismayed because of limitations, that it's our job to escape from them, but not to be without them. Those limitations are real in our mind at the time that we perceive them as limitations. But they're only there so that we can save ourselves, so that we can escape, so that we can prove that the limitations are just that they're based on beliefs, and they're temporary. But it goes on to say that in order for me to help someone who's suffering, I have to know what that is. And in the moment that I'm experiencing whatever the suffering is, be it, falling off my top step, or having my house be robbed, or being raped, or whatever. In the moment, I can talk to somebody about, falling off the top step, or about, how words have power, thoughts have power, and the kind of stuff. And I can talk to rape survivors joyfully, because I understand that was today. I understand that was an experience that I had to experience to learn my strength, to recognize my strength, to know, hi Sharonda, to know my strength. It was something I had to experience. It's not real today. I am not raping myself. I put that in quotation marks. I'm not raping myself anymore, but it was part of the experience. But I can't tell you how I had the opportunity to be on television, on a program, to talk about that. It was for my learning and for my growth. All things are lessons that God would have me learn, and I'm going to learn them on this earth, in this body, with and among everything and everybody, here, period. And for me to deny any of it is an unworthy form of denial. That's all I've got. Thank you, family. Love you all. I'm going to go get that blood work done because I'm hungry and I want to eat. And Lynn, here's the mic.
Thank you so much, Zulma. My goodness, what an hour of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sharing. I'm so grateful for you, and everything that